Hej och välkommen till Peabs arbetsplats. Ett av de absolut viktigaste målen i Peab är att vara den bästa arbetsgivaren, och det är klart att hälsa och arbetsmiljö står väldigt högt i fokus då. När man befinner sig på vår arbetsplats så ska man känna sig trygg och säker. Vi har ett gott ledarskap och vi har sunda värderingar som tillsammans med säkra och trygga arbetsmetoder hjälper oss i arbetet. Jag vill uppmana dig att följa våra ordnings- och skyddsregler så att du tillsammans med dina kollegor kommer välbehållna hem på kvällen efter jobbet. Och tänk på att ditt arbete gör stor skillnad.
As the builder of Nordic society, work environment, health and safety are a priority. No one should be injured at our workplaces. That's why we have certain rules that our employees have to follow. All the sites within the Peab Corporation are covered by these health and safety rules. Sometimes there are also rules specific to a particular workplace. Our core values are at the heart of everything we do and how we treat each other. Creating a good spirit built on accepting everyone as an equal is something we all have to contribute to, something we do together. It is important that you contribute actively in the safety work, follow rules and regulations, and establish procedures. Sign in when you arrive at your workplace. Your ID 06 card needs to be visible at all times. And you need to be able to prove your identity with a valid form of ID. You need to register your presence at building and construction sites by checking in and out every day. Everybody goes through an introduction. The same applies to visitors. You need to keep your workplace tidy during and after the work. Waste has to be sorted and disposed of as indicated in the correct place. Place materials and equipment in the correct place. The work site exit points and access and transportation routes must not be blocked or used for storage. The area around the site needs to be safe for the public. Only park vehicles in designated areas. All risk observations, incidents and accidents should be reported according to the routines at the workplace and rectified as soon as possible. At work, you have to wear an approved protective helmet done up under the chin. You have to wear high visibility clothing Class 2 on your upper body. While working on roads and railways, high visibility clothing Class 3 is required. Always wear protective footwear with toe caps and penetration protection. If any other protective equipment is needed for specific tasks, this should be supplied by the employer. Employees are responsible for using and maintaining equipment properly. Workplaces such as quarries, factories or workshops, specific rules will apply. There is a lot of movement by people and machines in our workplaces. Therefore, mobile phones and tablets can only be used in safe places. Private usage is only allowed at break times. Communication between colleagues is reserved for specific tasks and may only be used after a completed risk assessment. Warning beacons or sound alerts need to be used for reversing work vehicles and heavy machinery. Before work begins, always check safety protective features to ensure that they are correctly mounted and offer full protection. Protective features may not be tampered with or removed without a risk assessment and permission from site manager. All openings in floor and ground should be blocked off, all covered, secured and marked. Before employing a device that requires inspection by law, such as pressurized equipment, diggers or lifting equipment, a certificate of inspection needs to be displayed. Written permission is needed in order to employ an automated lifting device, such as a skylift or scissor lift. if protective railings are missing, or if there is a risk of impact from vehicles, or there is a risk of falling off a platform, for example during tree trimming, a personal safety harness should be used. No hot work may be begun until the person in charge of permissions has checked qualifications and given permission. Lifts and lifting equipment need to be maintained and checked regularly. Areas where lifting takes place should, if possible, be secured off. No one is allowed to be present underneath a hanging load. Safety distances need to be kept around work vehicles and heavy machinery. Pass when it's safe to do so after making contact with the operator. Work on, for example, distribution boxes, cables and adapters using tools may only be carried out by qualified people. Electrical tools, electrical equipment and wiring should be inspected regularly by the person working with them. Electrical tools should always be connected to a residual current circuit breaker. Working fire extinguishers should be easily accessible in the workplace. Site management should always be informed if flammable goods are to be handled or stored at the workplace. Gas canisters should be clearly labelled and stored in a designated area when not in use. Chemicals should be kept safe, labelled with the name of the product and marked with a hazard symbol. They should be logged on a list of stored chemicals. Information about chemical products and flammable goods, along with safety information sheets, should be handed to site management. The information should be available to all staff. Levels of quartz dust should be reduced as close to the source as possible in order to eliminate or minimise exposure. Dust-reducing equipment and control huts should be monitored and cleaned. Noise and vibrations should be reduced or blocked off. This can be achieved through planning work methods, machinery and other equipment. Only use approved ladders, trestles and scaffolding. A separate ladder may only be used temporarily, following a documented risk assessment and work preparation. Peab's health and safety rules should be available to all staff. This also applies to information regarding exit points, fire extinguishers, defibrillators and first aid. Workload, working hours and equal treatment of staff should be assessed and evaluated. Remember that special rules apply to underage employees, as well as those working alone. Everyone is responsible to carry out Peab's zero tolerance to all kinds of discrimination, degrading treatment and bullying. Alcohol and drugs are banned from our workplaces. Peab's health and safety rules are to be followed by all staff. If anyone breaches the health and safety rules, this will be handled with thorough disciplinary measures. Peab reserves the right to exclude persons breaking the rules from the workplace. At Peab, we are all part of our working environment, so let's make our workplaces safe and healthy places to be. Ask your foreman or site manager if you have any questions.